Sup, Trev? This is gonna be way more info than what you want, but thought it'd be good just as you're in the market, seeing different things to see how rates work and when people are quoting rates, what they're looking at. So, just as of today, so this is just mortgagenewsdaily.com and just going off the 30-year fixed rates. So it's pulling from three different main sources. You got Mortgage News Daily, Mortgage Back Association, and Freddie Mac. And so they're saying, as of today, what they're seeing on average is going to be in between about 6.625 and maybe 6.3% as far as interest rates. And so this is with a 25% down and with a primary purchase at a 780 credit score. And then what I've got over here is our search engine for the different people that we shop from. We've got about 30 investors, banks that we shop from to be able to give you the most competitive rates and options. So you can see that you can get any rate that you would want, and it just comes with a huge cost. Well, not a huge cost, just cost associated with that rate. So 3.75% shows that Fannie Mae is the most competitive vendor that we sell to, and to get that it would cost 78 grand in points. So that's not down payment or closing costs or anything else. That's just in points. That'd be on top of closing costs, and then your principal and interest would be right here. So it goes up about 1/8%. And so where we find our sweet spot is right about 99.5, 99.6. And that is something that we can give without a cost. So 99.5 be about 6.49%. So just going off of what we were looking at right here, just of averages, we're right in that arena. So this is again for a purchase. What Fannie Mae has come up with to make home affordability more quote unquote affordable is their loan level pricing adjustments. And so I bring this up just in case you're looking for a refinance versus purchase, or an investment property versus a primary or a second home. Then these are going to be calculated into the interest rate. So this is for a purchase. It's showing that if you're putting 25% down, like with the 780 credit score, which I used on that our search engine, then there's no loan level pricing adjustment. There's no additional factors added into the pricing per Fannie Mae. And then, but let's say you were only putting 10% down and you had a 720 credit score, then you have 1% not added onto the interest rate, but onto the pricing. So when we look at this bad boy, it's not adding 1% onto the rate, but onto the pricing. So when we're at 100, then that's called par pricing, which is there's no cost associated with that. But if we had done this scenario differently and put in, again, that mentioned scenario of 10% down with a 720 credit score, or whatever I said, then pricing would be a little bit different, where instead of 6.49, we might see closer to 6.99, because that's about a point difference on pricing. And so when looking at a refinance, then we come down to here. So depending on where the credit score is, and what your um, loan to value is. So let's say now we've got 75%, same thing as the purchase that we initially were talking about, putting 25% down with the 780 credit score. There's now a 0.125% loan level pricing adjustment to that pricing. So if it's an investment property or a condo or a second home or a manufactured home or a multi-unit, then we're hit with all of these other fun things that these other pricing adjustments. So, this is for refinance. Let's see. We're looking at a purchase. Oh yeah, here we go. So, if you're looking at buying an investment property and putting 25% down, the rate's going to be a lot higher because of what Fannie Mae's come out with for their adjustments than if it was a primary residence. So you can see with an investment property, if you're putting 25% down, and you've got that 3.375% added onto whatever other pricing that you've got over here. So let's say your credit score is 720, then an additional 0.75% would be adjusted on top of that. So hopefully that makes sense. But long story short is rates are about that 6.5%, maybe 6.25 to 6.5, just depending on um, interest rate, or excuse me, credit score, primary purchase. If you're looking to buy any points, of course, that's an option. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are and how we can dive in and help. Much love, brother. Talk to you later.